Welcome grade 12s. We're focusing on your syllabus right now. We're looking at homeostasis and in particular at temperature regulation. Now remember last week when we introduced homeostasis, we said that the important thing about homeostasis was things had to stay the same. We had to maintain a level of balance in the body, and temperature regulation is really crucial to your body because you have substances called enzymes in your body that cannot function if the temperature is too low, and they get denatured and cannot function if the temperature is too high. And so the body needs to control the temperature of the internal environment. Now, some animals do this by relying on their external environment. They rely on the outside environment to cool down and to get warm. Animals like reptiles, snakes, and crocodiles will bask in the sun in order to heat up their body and then move to the shade or into water to cool down. And so they're using what is going on outside their body to control the internal environment. But mammals and birds are very different. They don't do this. They rely on internal mechanisms to maintain a very steady and balanced temperature control system. You know that you might, for example, do a lot of physical exercise, and that is going to warm up your body. That is possibly going to make you start sweating. You're going to not necessarily play sport, but you're going to be possibly overdressed, or you're going to be put in a situation where you have to climb a whole lot of stairs to get to a meeting or something, and you start sweating. Your sweating mechanism is a way of cooling you down. You'll also remember that if you get cold, you might start shivering. That shivering mechanism is in the same way a way to warm you up. So you have things that will take place in your body that if your body is getting too hot, it'll cool you down. If your body is too cold, mechanisms will be put in place to warm your body up. And so we see that there are both heat loss and heat gain mechanisms in your body. Some of the heat loss mechanisms, if your body is becoming too hot, evaporation by means of sweating, radiation, conduction and convection, getting your blood circulatory system to conduct or carry the blood to the surface of the skin where it can radiate out of your skin. And likewise, if you are now gaining heat by cellular respiration or from being in an environment that is far too hot for you, you need then to undergo heat loss in order to maintain that level of the temperature at a very balanced, constant state. The temperature regulation is controlled by the brain. It is not something that you think about. It is not something that you automatically say, my internal mechanisms are telling me that I need to start shivering. These are things that spontaneously happen in your body without your control. But interestingly, because we are humans with a capacity for advanced thought, very often you will put on extra clothes if you are cold, or you will take off your jersey if you are hot. And this is an advanced form of temperature regulation where our brain does control it in an involuntary way, but logically we can actually think about it and we can make a conscious control over our system as well by putting on extra clothes or switching on a heater in the classroom or standing in front of a fire or jumping into a swimming pool or drinking iced water, things that other animals don't really think about in order to control their temperature. So you have your built-in mechanisms that are going to work to control your temperature, and you have no control over those at all. You can't stop yourself from shivering, just like you can't stop yourself from sweating if you're too hot. But over and above that, we have behavioral mechanisms, things that we can do to our behavior that will increase our temperature or drop our temperature depending on whether we feel too hot or too cold. After the break, we're going to have a look at more mechanisms and ways that your body involuntarily, without your conscious decision, controls your temperature.